Okay, now we have the dragon re-undercoated. I may apologise for the first snippet of the video. It might have a bit of a voiceover. We're not too sure what happened with the commentary. So hopefully we can get that fixed, or it has been fixed. We're now on to the second piece of this. Once all the putty had been completely dried and sculpted back in, as you can see, once we've re-undercoated it, everything seems to just blend in quite nicely, especially in around the head. As we were quite visible in around where the wings met the body. I actually didn't spray black this. As you can see, my hands are a bit covered with black paint. I actually did this just with an acrylic. And what I actually do is actually use an artist one. Reuse acrylic. The reason for that is I didn't want to overspray any parts that had already been done, and I didn't want to sort of lose any detail that was in the model. Also, the fact is, not too sure how flaky any of the paint would have been. As I said, this has been sitting for quite some time. So this is the base color I always work from. I always kind of usually tend to work from black up. So what we'll be doing is moving on to the next stage, which is literally picking the colors that we're going to be using, listing them all out. But I'll talk more about those later. Mostly it'll be a bit of a mix of between Games Workshop paints, Vallejo paints, and Coat d'Arms. This is mostly because of what I have sort of sitting around that may be of use. But trying to keep maybe as one make, using the more modern paints. And I do have quite a few sort of old GW paints. As you can see, these aren't made anymore. Some of these were taken over by Coat d'Arms and a few other manufacturers. But, you know, these are still actually very, very good. Still workable. Obviously, yes, where possible, we may have to use some of the more modern GW paints, but we'll see how that goes. But I will try maybe to stick to Coat d'Arms as much as possible, because I've got quite a few of those, and see how we go from there. Initially, what I'll do now is I'll get the base colour on of the main body of the dragon and see what happens from there, and get back to you. Thank you. Okay, I discussed the colours that we're planning to use to paint the snow dragon. Most of these will be Coat d'Arms, because I've had a look through what I have, and obviously keeping the same make kind of helps with the consistency of highlights and things like that. So we are decided on a couple of decisions on the blues for the base colour. This was either a wizard blue or enchanted. Obviously, to continue on with the highlighting of that, we've got a couple of different colours we can work from: high elf blue, light blue, and stuff. That's another light blue I've just been opened. Obviously, we can throw in the white every so often there to sort of mix it up and highlight it even more for final highlighting. So that'll be the colours for sort of the main body of the dragon and stuff like that. So we'll move those to one side. Moving on to the wings, horns, fur and everything else. Look to be a purple in colour. Now, we may not be able to exactly get a colour it actually shows on the photographs, but we're going to try. Obviously, a bit of a mix. Obviously, we have, again, Coat d'Arms. We have the poison purple and just standard purple there. What we're going to use maybe to help sort of mix and blend is we're going to use a bit of shocking pink. Whether this will work or not, we're going to test it and see. If not, obviously we'll default back to using a bit of white, just to try and blend that all in. Simple things which are maybe not as noticeable on the dragon and stuff like that are obviously the likes of the teeth and things like that. So we do have a couple of horse tones here. We have Don and Roan. I'm going to try using those because I haven't really used those much, so it'll be nice to just try them. And of course, we do have a sneaky old Games Workshop bleach bone for a bit of a final highlight has snuck in there. For the base itself, probably will use one of the blues as a basic sort of... Okay, we got the base colour blue on. I found when I was actually opening the blues that actually one of the colours I was going to use, the enchanted blue, was actually a more metallic. So I had to have another route around and actually discovered actually they had a Coat Arms Regal Blue, so I've used that as the base colour. One of them went ahead and jumped ahead a little bit and went straight into doing the base colour for the purple, which is obviously Coat Arms Poison Purple. I have started a little bit of the next layer blue. Okay, now this is just basically going on directly. This is actually the Wizard Blue. Hopefully we can see a little bit closer into that. Started doing some of the scales just to show what it actually can look like. Now, normally you would usually mix the two original colours together to try and get different blends and highlights. I'm actually trying to do this a little more basic, probably due to the fact that when I first started doing these, I didn't have the painting standards or techniques that people have today, or even I have today, to actually paint the way it was on the box art. So I'm trying to keep it quite simple, quite easy, and kind of keep it a bit cleaner that way. So what I'm going to do is just basically show you a little bit of the application of the Wizard Blue. Get a little bit on my brush here. There we go, there's the paint. Hopefully we can actually see kind of what I'm trying to do. Obviously on these kind of scales, I'll take a little bit of paint off the brush. Because you're trying to get the edge, just moving along quite nice and slow, nice and easy, not filling the whole of the scale. And let's go over these a little bit. Right, obviously, and the same thing along each part. So what I'm going to do now is I'll continue on. Actually, can get a bit closer in and let you see that. It looks a bit heavy at the moment. I may need to add a bit more water to the brush to thin the paint out a wee bit more. But that gives you the general idea of the first mix layer of blue. And hopefully what we'll do then is I'll go on, continue the rest of the blue, and I'll come back once I've finished that section. Right, okay, so we finished the first blue that I was using. I went back over the bit that I was actually showing initially in the video. Wasn't too happy with it. Don't think I thinned the paint down well enough for it. So basically what I've done, finished all the blue, or the initial layer of blue. Hopefully we can keep her in focus. So I went back over that section again, thinned the paint out quite a bit. When I have the general first layer of blue done, I'm trying to keep a couple of the darker shades, as you can see in here, keep some of the darker blue. I've been playing about with purple a little bit. Not overly happy with putting the purple, the lighter purple straight over the top. So I've been sort of experimenting with mixing it, the base colour in with another colour, trying to get it to work a bit better. So we can actually zoom in. That's a bit better. There we go. So obviously you're trying a few different shades. This was the last one, which was the original dark purple, with mixed in with a bit of light grey. It seemed to come out okay. The normal purple, the later purple, just put on normal, no mixing, no just thinned out a wee bit. This came out like that. So yeah, it will look quite different from obviously the picture of the snow dragon. I'm gonna play about with it. Not too happy with the way the colours are coming out on the purple. I want to make sure they look good, especially for when it comes to doing the wings. Once I've done the purple, what I'll do is I'll get that all done all over. Obviously, you can see there's quite a lot as well. And what I also will do is probably complete the base next, namely due to the fact that it's probably going to be easier to clean it up rather than trying to clean the dragon up if I make any mistakes or slip. So basically what I'll do first of all, I'll do all the purple to the next level, and I'll let you see that once that's finished. Right, finally did the white on the base. That was initially done with a bit of a light grey, the light grey colour, and then there's white on its own. I'll try and zoom in a wee bit, allowing for the dodgy camera work. I've done this, as I said earlier, was just basically when I start to go paint it, if I hit the dragon after I've done all the highlighting and everything else, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare, where it'll be a lot easier just to fix this and then give it a nice final coat of white over at the very, very end. With the purple, I ended up changing mine again and going completely with just the purple on its own. Was mixing colours, playing about with it. Wasn't too happy with the way things were turning out, so you just literally went for put the plain purple colour on and you then highlight from there. So I'm hoping that will make a lot of difference. We hope. Zooming in and out the wrong way. So at the moment, that's the stage that we're at. Next stage I'm going to do is I'm going to do the next stage of blue and purple. Now the camera is showing it as a lot brighter than it actually is. It actually is quite a bit darker. So it is. So that might be due to the lighting. So I'll do a quick shot without the main light on. So that'll show you it is actually darker than it is actually showing at the moment. That's actually showing you probably a lot better what the true colours are at the moment. I just have the big light on, namely due to the fact that it makes it easier for me to paint it. So yeah, I'm going to do the next stage of blue, highlighting the more raised areas, and then do the same again with the purple, and then come back, show you that, and then yeah, after that will be a bit of a tidy up on the spines, because a lot of them you can see the black there and stuff like that. The picture I have mainly shows them as black, but what I'm going to have to do is going to go back over them, tidy them up, clean them up a wee bit, because after that it'll just be like final highlights and stuff like that in certain areas. So I'm going to tidy them up, clean them up, make them sit out a bit better, and that'll be the next stage. Okay, done another stage of purple, and what I've actually done here to sort of lighten it a little bit was to actually mix a bit of a light grey into it. So I have done like a bit of a 50-50 mix, so it actually blends in quite nicely. Again, touched up a little bit more of the light blue in certain areas. Noticed that some of them actually need quite a lot, actually, like the banding under the neck, which will actually get an extra little bit of a more highlight. Haven't fixed the spines just yet, the black spines or anything like that. I'm going to leave that. For the next stage, what I'm going to do is going to clean them up. Also do the main sort of jaw area where the fangs or teeth will be. Finish them off along with the eye as well, and get some of the little more finer details done, same as the claws. Again, what I'm going to do is just turn off the main light, and as the camera adjusts you can actually see a little bit more of the shading, especially within the pink area, sorry, the purple area. It does look quite pinkish at the minute. Trust me, it actually is a lot darker in reality. Hopefully get some daylight shots once we're finished. And say that leads also right into the back of the wings as well, which actually a lot more better detailed than the parts you see mostly. As we stand, that's where it is at the moment. So as I say, what I'll do is I'll tidy up all the black areas. I might actually go ahead and put on the final highlight on all the purple areas. And a little bit more. Actually, I'll actually add in some white into this time and see how that goes. If anything changes, amends, I can also update you in the once you come back again and we see what happens. So let's get on with that. So it'll be finishing off the teeth, fix all the claws, the spine areas, and the final part of the purple. Okay, what I've done is done all the final purple, just because I was in a bit of a painting frenzy and just thought, actually, I just want to get that bit done. So all the purple's done. What I then did is went back over all the claws, spine, and everything else that needed to be done black, along with filling in where the teeth is, just to redefine where that is, and also the eyes. So as you can see, it is extremely light purple, almost to the point where it is basically pink. I might actually leave it like this, even with more natural light, which is what we've got on at the minute through the window. It actually is a bit darker than what it actually looks on screen. What we're going to do now is continue on with finish the blue. Now there's probably about two stages left on the blue. That will be a bit of a mix of the light blue colour and a bit of white, which is probably going to be like a 50-50 mix. Then the final highlight for the blue will probably be 25% blue, 75% white, and just that final sort of touch over the very raised parts on the scales. And then what I'll do is I'll give the base another quick go over with white, and just to tidy it up, because I think I've seen a few parts there where obviously the paint has gone on to it, which is probably what I thought was going to happen. But at least, as I said earlier, it's going on the base, not the actual dragon. So that should then more or less finish it. We'll only leave the likes of the teeth and the eye. I'll probably do the whole thing and then come back with the completed dragon, completely finished, and I'll have a quick chat about it then. Okay, I'm going to call this finished. Finally did all the blue levels, finished all of that, finished off the eyes, and also got finished off the teeth as well. So to me, this is the Snow Dragon complete. I have gone a bit heavy on the final highlights in some areas, namely on the likes of the belly area and then around the neck. So obviously I'll go in and touch that up, clean that up a little bit at some stage. But that is, as far as I'm concerned, complete. No airbrushing done, just all done with normal coat the arms, acrylic paints, all brushwork, and I'm actually very pleased. This model basically being, I haven't had it for about 30 years. I'm so glad I've actually finally got it finished. And obviously, just to show that the fact is, it's not just the front bit, you can actually see it's painted. We've got all the way around the back as well. So if anybody has any comments or anything, or have anything to ask, please do in the comments below. I'll try and get back to as many people as I possibly can. Thanks for watching, and if you do like the video, please remember to hit the like button.